Our Bible word is Psalm 121, the verses 1 and 2. I will lift up my eyes to the hills. From whence comes my help? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. So this psalm forms part of the great Hallel, and that refers to Psalms 120 to 136. These were psalms that were performed by the Israelites on pilgrimage. They would sing these as they made their way to Jerusalem. And Psalm 121 also forms part of the 15th Song of Ascents, and those are Psalms 120 to 134. And the Psalms of Ascents were sung in a way as pilgrims connected with Jerusalem or on their way to Jerusalem, as they ascended up to Jerusalem or even the temple. And that we can read also about in Exodus 23 and Deuteronomy 16. And a major theme of Psalm 121 is God's protection. So it's about God's protection for these Israelites as they were on the road, on this pilgrim road to Jerusalem, because pilgrimage could be dangerous. In the mountains, etc., there could be bandits, criminal elements who want to come and rob you. It's also the sunlight, the heat of the day that can exhaust you, that can cause harm, or even at night. It was believed that the moon can also cause damage if you're exposed to the moon for too long. So the psalm is about God's protection. While I'm making this journey on pilgrimage, God's protection will be upon me. And it was also probably sung between two different groups of people. Verses 1 to 2, it's a first person, I, and then maybe there's another group that responded to that. That's from verses 3 to 8, because there it's the second person, you, that we find in these texts. So verses 1 to 2, it's where it's a first person perspective, somebody speaking. And yeah, it's about the Lord is the creator. Who's the one who will offer this protection on your pilgrimage journey? It's the Lord as creator. As it says, I will lift up my eyes to the hills. In other words, I'm looking out for danger, or where danger can come from. There's bandits always who hide in the hills or in the mountains, and then they come down to attack you. So I will lift up my eyes to the hills. From whence comes my help? So in other words, who will protect me? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. In other words, the creator of all. He's my protector. And now, perhaps another group responds to that question of who will protect me? From whence comes my help? And that's from verses 3 to 6, where it explains that the Lord is the guardian of Israel. The people of God can have confidence. It says here, God will be constant in his protection. He's there for his people, to help and guard his people. If we go to verse 3, he will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. In other words, God's protection is constant. In verse 5, the Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. So in other words, this imagery of shade in the light of day where it's so scorching hot, etc. God will offer shade, so to speak, to offer you protection. Then it also says, the sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. So God will also give you protection against the elements, scorching heat of the day, but also moonlight. It was believed at this time, if you expose too much to moonlight, that you will become moonstruck. Or even our word lunatic comes from this idea of being moonstruck or affected by the moon, and you lose your senses and you go crazy. So it says here, God will protect you from the sun and the moon also. And then verses 7 to 8 is a blessing is pronounced by that second group. It says there, the Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So in other words, yeah, it's just again emphasized the blessing is pronounced on the pilgrims. God is here to protect you. God will protect you forevermore, your life. So Psalm 121, it's part of the great Hallel, performed by pilgrims on their way to Jerusalem. And yeah, it's a psalm, even in this dangerous journey of making this pilgrimage, with bandits lurking in the mountains and the sun, the scorching sun by day, or the moon even at night. Wherever you go, coming in or going forth, God of Israel will be there to protect you.